just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Pack Her Up, boys. And don't forget, next Tuesday, I am heading to Vegas for Zoo Fundora 2. I'm so excited. It's all thanks to KO. I'm heading over there. Big Willie Mason, Lukey from Levels. We're all going over there. It's going to be one of the biggest fights in the last few years. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait. July 20 is when the fight's on, guys. And it's obviously the same card as Manny Pacquiao Barrios. You don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. It's all thanks to KO. Also, guys, on Monday, we are drawing the Mazda BT50. So join the Bloke Club. You've still got a few days. But Monday, keep your phones near you. And just quickly, I just wanted to apologise. So on Tuesday, we were talking about Munster and his father passing. And I just, for some bizarre reason, I said his mother had passed. I meant his mother-in-law had passed in 2020. So I just want to apologise for that. We took it out of the podcast and YouTube, but we also left comments as well. But I just wanted to re-clarify, guys, it was his mother-in-law. I apologise for that mistake. I really, really do. Such a serious topic. That's poor forward from me. Anyway, Matty, how you been, mate?
Numb. Very numb. It's I've been thinking about it because, like, obviously it's the talk of the town, what happened in Origin, and usually if Blues lose, just devastated, angry, having all these feelings. But like, it just feels different, this one. Like it's a thing where, like, so many times Blues fans have had to pick themselves back up and go again the next year, and there's so much hope, and it is what it is. But like, just something about this one is just so numbing. Like, I don't know. I think it's maybe because this is the worst loss I've ever seen. And I'm saying that with no hyperbole. It's the worst loss I've ever seen. I've said it twice. It's worse for me than 2020 for sure.
Well, I think, like, if he's lost like 24-22, you could go, look, you know, Queensland spirit, the boys got around Munster. Okay. Mate, it was essentially a 13-plus loss, like, at home. In
my eyes, because, we scored a junk time try. The penalty goal at the start was probably going to be a try. Val slipped over and missed a rare goal in Origin. It could have been...
And Ashley Klein, in that last 10 minutes, couldn't have tried harder to get the Blues in that game.
And like, we're not talking 50-50s. Like, Connor Watson purposely throws it into a Queensland player.
Mitchell play the ball.
And there was that one too. But it was the one out, like, they changed that rule 4 years ago. And apparently refs are, like, quizzed on certain rules, like, all the time. Like, of course he knows what that is.
He knows what that is. He knows exactly what that is. And what's funny is, like, he was poor to both sides in this game.
Yeah.
But he just went full, cranked it up in that last 10.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just it feels like rock bottom. Because, and not rock bottom in the sense of our team sucks and how are we going to get out of this. Rock bottom is in, we were such heavy favourites. How can I possibly ever again, or certainly in the next near future, walk into any game with any type of confidence? It's just, I'm finding it really hard to peel myself off the ground at the moment.
Yeah. I think, did Queensland get as far out as $6 to win the series or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember looking at it thinking, and this is the arrogance of New South Wales, thinking I still wouldn't even back it. Yeah. But it was like, I think it was like 5.75 or 6 something at the end of game one. And like, fair enough. We'd gone to Suncorp, won, not convincingly on the scoreboard, kind of similar. They were both 12-point wins, but they both were smokings. And then to have two away games for Queensland, basically, pretty much the exact same as what we did last year. Lost at home, 2 away wins. Queensland had never done that before. In the history of Origin, they'd never been down 1-0 and lost at 2 away grounds. Won at 2 away grounds to win. So I was like, of course they were $6, but like, and that's why I feel so numb about this. It's like, how did we let that one slip? I remember in 2017, ironically, Laurie's last series, Blues went up to Suncorp and won, and it was the craziest thing ever. Fafita killed him. And then game 2, this wasn't as bad because the third game was at Suncorp, but like in game 2, we're up 16-6 at halftime. Jared Hayne bombs a try, basically. Like, we could have been 22-6 at halftime, and then bloody Dane Gagai scores a double, and Thurston kicks that goal, and they win. That's the lowest I've ever been, because like I'm like, well, we're going to go to Suncorp now, we're going to lose, and we did. Cam Smith killed it. Cam Munster debuted. But this is but after game 2, after we lost that one, I didn't expect to win. I still expected to win this game.
Yeah.
So I'm finding it really hard to.
I think that's the difference that I think a lot of New South Welshmen after game 2, and I want to be really clear as well. Even me as a Queenslander, I said, you can go and listen, Queensland need to play the game of their life to win. What that is code for is there's a very small chance they're going to win. If you're being real as a Queenslander, don't pretend you came into this game super confident. Now, did you come into this game thinking, I know the boys have it in them. I know as a Queenslander, there's something special in a Queenslander. It doesn't happen all the time. But every now and then, there's something special in a Queensland team where they make it work. All Queenslanders have that hope in their heart. Doesn't happen all the time. For example, last year, game 3, when the game was grinding and, it was in the balance, I was sitting there going, these are the moments we win. And that's what made last series win so great for New South Wales, because they won the moment they don't usually win. The grind was there. The game was in the balance. Who broke first? It was Queensland. Yeah. Whereas this series coming into it, I think most Queenslanders will say, even with everything, all the motivation and everything, they're going to need a game of their lives. And they put together the game of their lives. That's the thing. It was the game of their lives.
And I think that's what hurts so much, is that Queenslanders somehow always, it just seems like they play for more, it seems like they have more purpose than New South Wales. And I think that's what hurts the most. They just in general, that it just feels, and no better example on the weekend or on Wednesday, it just felt like they wanted it more. And that's what hurts so much about it.
Well, I'll be honest, and I know people don't like to hear this, and yes, there are legends of the Blues that care just as much as the greatest ever Queenslander. So there are some Blues that do feel the same way as Cam Smith does. For example, I do not deny that Joey has just as much passion for New South Wales as Cam Smith does for Queensland. So there are some. However, I think the difference is from a very young age, Queenslanders are taught through generation to have a chip on their shoulder about New South Wales. And I do think that's a difference. Queenslanders are taught that they think they're better than us. They treated us like shit for so many years. A lot of people, even to this day, feel like the NRL secretly feel it's the New South Wales Rugby League, not the National Rugby League. I know it's not true, but it doesn't change the fact that that is what gets passed down to even people that don't play rugby league. And I'm the perfect example. Didn't play rugby league, still had a chip on my shoulder for New South Wales.
Well, as much as I don't want to agree with that, and a lot of me still doesn't, but I think I know deep down that I do, because...
Well, think of it this way, bro. What do you get told about Queenslanders that makes you, other than they always beat us in Origin or whatever, do you ever get told to have a chip on your shoulders for them as a kid growing up?
No.
That's what I mean.
Not at all. Not at all. The chip on our shoulder is that they think that they care more, and they don't.
But that's a reaction to the 8 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. No Queenslander listening to this can tell me that they care more than I do. And Joey's the same. This is just what you just said. Joey, you can't say that Jonathan Thurston cared more than Joey, but you're right. There's just that.
It's everyone in Queensland, whereas in New South Wales, it's some. I think it's some. Yeah. And it's people like yourself that's so passionate. It's Joey, but it's just not everyone. I think that's the difference. I really do. And on but even little, the thing that that aside, let's just say, okay, come on, Kimmy, that's all nonsense. It's all nothing. How do you measure that? I think that you can measure it by what's happened in Origin. Now we're 9 ahead or whatever, but let's just say you can't measure that. So let's not talk about that. A key thing for me is I've been saying for years, Isaiah Yeo is a front rower in Origin. And so you can play front row from 13. You can play, you just play like a front rower. Similar to what Queensland do. Their 13 barely ball plays. They just play like a front rower. So game 1, game 2, he comes out. He has 3 passes and 5 passes. Game 3, he had 18 passes and 26, 28 receipts or whatever. And I just look at that and I just go, how does that happen when you've got all this success playing like a front rower? The only thing I can think of is was he told as a game plan to change it up for game 3?
Honestly, I don't know what the answer is, because whatever the answer is, it's going to offend me. It really will, because I just don't understand how it's proven the Penrith system doesn't work in Origin, and we've known that for years now. So why did they go back to it?
And this is absolutely not a knock on Yo. He tried his absolute heart out. And he should be selected next year, all that good stuff. But I think he should just be always being told you're a front rower. And I think with Cam Murray back in the side, he absolutely is a front rower. No doubt in my mind. Geez, I tell you what, look, I know I'm a friend of Cam Murray's now, and I've been a fan for him for so many years now, but, mate, that guy was born to play Origin.
Yeah.
And you can see it.
It's just another series that we've lost without Cam Murray.
Yeah,
The Origin stocks on Cam Murray are so high.
It's so high. And you know, so this was my, you know, and I never ever want to be the guy that told you so. So I'm not saying I told you so right now, guys, because I didn't have the courage to back up this vision that I had for the New South Wales side. And I would have gone with what we ended up going with. So I'm not pretending like I'm Mr. Know-it-all. But it was a vision that I had for the Blues because I was concerned. And it was Isaiah on the front row, Connor Watson at 13 with Payne Haas. And the reason was because you're too slow around the ruck. Now, granted, Barnett picked up a lot of that slack with his leg speed, but I do think there is something to be said that your starting front row was too slow around the ruck speed-wise. Now, Payne Haas at top flight is fast as anything, but he's huge. You can't expect that bloke to be moving like a Ruben Cotter or a smaller front row, or at the very least to repel a Harry Grant.
Yeah.
And so I looked at the Queensland forward pack, and Trent Leoro, like in defence, he is good laterally. That's his whole MO, is defence. Like he is on there for defence, period. Whereas I looked at that New South Wales, and Isaiah has good defence, but again, laterally, him, Max King and Haas are quite laboured across the ground. And I just wonder, and I know, as I said, I'm not saying I told you so because I didn't have the guts to push behind it, but I just wonder, like, would have it been worth, and this is hindsight hero, having Watson at the 13 and Yo and Haas up front. Then you move one off the bench, you can put Max King back to the spot that he did well in game one. I know it sounds crazy, I know, but it's just, I do feel in the ruck you were a bit slow across the ground.
Well, I think it's a good point because we don't have to worry about that next year because Cam Murray is going to come straight back in. And, you know, I just think, I don't know if that would have, it might have, but like you just look at game two, Harry Grant killing us around the ruck that's what pretty much won them the series. So yeah, it's a good point.
It's just a question. It's just a question that I'm posing. Like, I don't know if it's the right answer. I do think that game three made the question more prominent of like, okay, maybe we were a bit slow around the ruck. But anyway, just a question. I think that, you know, it's unfortunately, look, I do feel sorry for Cleary in the sense that you could tell how much he was hurting. You know, in that post interview that he did, I want to give Cleary a lot of credit. He could have easily hidden from all the interviews. He could have gone in and just said, listen, this is the darkest day of my career so far or whatever. But he didn't. He faced up, and I want to give him a lot of credit for it. And that's why I love Cleary so much. Win, lose, or draw, he faces up to the music. But I do think, like I was watching NL360 last night, and they all agreed that he should stay in the 7 jersey. I was quite surprised by that. And that's coming from, you guys know, I am the biggest Cleary fanboy. I have been defending him for years, and I have been saying for years that his moment is coming. Clearly, it hasn't come yet, so I'm wrong. I'm happy to put my hand up and say, you know, me backing him in this much in regards to Origin was incorrect. But I do think I would love to see Cleary go back to Clubland and just reset his mind and reset his style of play. And I think the next time, if he does get another opportunity in Origin, which I do think eventually he will, come back in with a mindset of no systems, let's play more just front foot footy, take advantage of situations. Because I think that's what Dearden and Munster did so well. It was all vibe for them. Whatever the game felt needed to happen, they did it. And I think with Cleary, he's just almost just got to... Because like with Cleary, at the Penrith Panthers, everything is built around getting to certain spots to help Cleary out. So he never has to yell at people because that's the whole system. The whole system is around him. I think at Origin level, because it's not built around him, and he doesn't necessarily... He's such a nice guy. He doesn't have that spite in him to get angry at... be yelling at people going, how dare you not get there? Actually, Matty John said on the Morning Glory this morning on the radio show with the SCN, he said that Nathan Hindmarsh remembered back then in 2005 when Joey came in. And he said before Joey came in, it was a shambles. There was no structure or whatever. He said as soon as Joey came in, he said we were all scared shitless because Joey lost his absolute mind every time we missed our assignment. Every time he said we were walking on eggshells because Joey at training would lose his mind when we wouldn't hit targets. Now, I'm not saying he has to be Joey, but I reckon next time he gets an opportunity, he needs to go in with that mindset. I have won 4 premierships. I am the best 7 in the competition. And if you don't do what I say, then you're not going to be in the team. And I know that doesn't necessarily mean that is true, that he's going to get rid of someone, but that's exactly what Andrew John said to Nathan Hindmarsh. If you don't get there again, you're not in this side.
And I feel like, without actually knowing, but I feel like Mitch Moses is very good at that.
Well, what does Mitch Moses always cop crap for? For being too in the face of people, too passionate, too angry. All of this footage of him yelling at Gutho yelling at him. And so it's just a personality trait and style. Because Cleary, in my opinion, he's a better footballer, but clearly Moses' style of personality suits that Origin arena better. Now you got to remember though, like it's taken years for Moses to get to where he's at.
Moses is like 4 or 5 years older than Cleary.
Yeah. And so I just would love to Cleary to go back, rebuild, and then just re-energize himself for Origin. I'd love to get your thoughts. Now, as I said, NL360, all the hosts said that he definitely should get the jersey next year.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I wanted to come back to that because I just, like, respectfully,
I was honestly shocked.
I don't know how you can have that opinion because, like, I'm sure if he, as I said, I don't care about this year. If he comes back next year and he's easily the best 7, then that's fine. But I don't know how a day after, he's lost his 3rd decider, you can just be like, yeah, nah, sweet. He just walks in next year. I'm very, very happy for him to be the 7 if he's the best 7 next year. But it should be a clean slate. And the fact is, like, it's so New South Wales. After 2014, we had it's the great story. We had Trent Hodgkinson and Josh Reynolds. Where were they in 2015? Not in the team. We win last year. And what do? We drop, and like I would have picked Cleary, so I'm saying I'm wrong here. I was in the wrong saying this, but we dropped. Why would we drop our halfback in hindsight? And that's exactly what we did.
As in moving Moses to 6, obviously got injured.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Moses,
instead of going Moses to 7, Cleary to 6.
Exactly, and that is the halves combination. If I had to pick an Origin team now for next year, that's what I'm going with. I'm going Cleary 6. There's no way I'm dropping Cleary. I'm putting him at 6. But it's Moses' team. Moses won the Shield last year at Suncorp. Moses had 5 tries in Melbourne. Moses has done it before. We've got this evidence in front of us, and for some reason in New South Wales, we like to change stuff all the time. Moses was our halfback last year. I think he deserves to be the favourite come round 1. I think Cleary should be the second favourite, and then a bit of daylight, and then maybe Katoa. I personally, I've thought about this a lot. I think Katoa's too young. I think...
You don't want to ruin him.
I think throwing Cleary in this young has kind of screwed him up a little bit. I think we put in Mitch Pearce too early. We screwed him up a little bit. We put in Jared Mullen too early. We screwed him up a little bit. It's just, I don't think it's Katoa's time yet. Katoa hasn't even played a finals game. I think we just will up on that. And also it's a year away, so a lot can happen in a year. I think next year Moses deserves to be the 7. Moses has won 4 Origin games in a row. 2 of them with the series on the line-ish. Like if we lose, we're dead. 3 of them, the series was alive. New South Wales haven't won 4 Origins in a row in 30 years. I just think it's and Moses is 31. He's not getting any younger. So I just think for the next year or 2, have Moses as the 7, Cleary as the 6. I just don't know how after that you can just say, oh no, Cleary's a walk-up star for next year. It doesn't make sense.
You know what it is for me? That's the issue, is that you look at Cleary and you go, he's the best 7 in the game. But is he the best 7 for what you need in Origin? That's the difference. Yeah. Whereas Queensland, when they select players, they're the best player for how we are trying to play. That's how they select players. They don't just go, we're going to pick the best 17 on paper, like the best. They go, we're going to pick the best 17 to suit what we need. Here's a perfect example. Hammer at fullback. He suits their style of play. They didn't need Reece Walsh creating more magic out on the edges. They needed the best support player in the competition. What do you know? The ball hits a deck. There is not a single player outside of Hammer that could have gotten around Edwards like the way he did. I think it was Edwards. Whoever it was that he got around, he's the only one quick enough to have made that small space in 3 or 4 meters. And so that's where I'm just surprised that was the opinion.
Just on the Hammer thing, it's crazy. Like, I would have picked Reece Walsh, and again, it just shows why I'm nowhere near a selection table because, Reece Walsh, whilst, out the back shape, he's amazing. And I would have thought, all right, surely Queensland fight fire with fire. There's too many points in the Blues. Billy Sayers like, nope, I'm just going to pick the best support player in the NRL, basically. Yeah. And what do you know? Hammer's one of their best players. Yeah. Isn't it wild? It's just wild. Billy Slater.
He's just done so well. And so, yeah, with the Blues, look, it's funny. I've already, copped a bit of shit about still believing in Cleary and saying I'm glazing him or whatever. Like, I believe in him. I understand he hasn't nailed Origin yet. I get it. I've put my hand up and said I've got it wrong. I'm happy that I got it wrong. I backed him in. But he's 27 years old. This guy has won 4 premierships. He's a great player.
And 2 Clives.
He will make it work. He will find a way to make it work. It might not be next year, but it's going to happen in my opinion. I really do. Unless Katoa comes in and Moses or whatever and they just kill it and he can't get that jersey again. I'm not sure. But I'm just a fan of Cleary. Yeah. I really believe in him as a player.
Well, I'm with you. And I'm not for a second am I saying he should be dropped from the 17. Not for a second. Like, he should be in that team.
See, I'm actually going. I actually think he probably shouldn't be in the 17 at this stage. I think he has to show that he is just injury free, ripping and tearing. I do have a question about his position in the 17 just in this next little period.
Yeah, that's fine, and I think a lot of people share that opinion. I think the team's better with him in it, just not at 7. It shouldn't be. Did it look like his team on Wednesday? Not at all. So I just think Moses should be the 7. Cleary should be the 6. Obviously, as I said, we've got a year to go. There's a lot of things that can happen.
I just wonder, and yeah, you're right. It's a year. It's so long ago. Things can change. I wonder whether it would be better for Cleary to miss one Origin series. Like play club during the week. And so he can just focus on his club footy. But also, maybe you don't know what you got till it's gone. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe, but he missed last year and we won. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair. I will say, yes, definitely, Cleary could have been better. But, geez, there were quite a lot of boys that could have been better.
I honestly think that only To'o really had, a game they can be truly proud of.
Yeah. And, Haas was clearly underdone. He clearly was injured. The one thing I was most surprised at is just how much we won the physical battle over you guys. That's the one area where I just didn't think it was possible. I just thought you're too big and too strong. But I feel like Queensland were the ones winning the contact nearly every tackle. It
felt like, how there's been 2 deciders in Queensland, or 3 maybe. No, 2 deciders in Queensland at Suncorp in the last 5 years that Queensland have won, and that's 2020 and 2022 or 2023. And both of those times, as a Blues fan, I felt suffocated just because Queensland, the whole thing about Suncorp Stadium, but they won the forward battle, and that's the main thing, and we were just camped in our end. I felt that without feeling that on Wednesday, just because it was at a different stadium. It didn't feel suffocating, but it felt the same as we just couldn't get out of our own end. We didn't have much opportunity to throw any shape at you in good ball at all, really. And it's just, I can't believe that given the differences between the 4-packs.
Yeah, so look, tough situation. I got to say, there were just some, for example, did Laurie send down to Nath, and I'm blaming, holding both people accountable. Nath's good enough to know this, and so is Luai, and so is Robson, and so is Daly. Did he send down to him, you need to put a grubber in behind to keep these guys honest? Then there's other little things like keeping Isaiah Yeo on there for 80 minutes, then also the style of rugby league he played. Maybe the Liam Martin one's a little bit in hindsight, but when his arm or wrist was done, you got Hudson Young ready to go. Do you just get him out there and see how he goes for 10 minutes, and then if he struggles, you get Martin back out there? I don't know.
The kicking behind the player thing, Craig Bellamy was in our box. You surely think the message came down.
Just a one little dink. And I'm not making up, guys. Trust me. We were sitting there that first 15 minutes, and I literally said in front of all the boys, I feel like they need to put a grubber in behind and they'll score.
Yeah.
And so it's coming from a literally nuffy nobody winger, nowhere near as good as these guys. You know what I always wonder, and I know people won't like you to hear us, I guess, but I always wonder how good could have I been at rugby league if I played since I was 6?
Yeah, true, because you started when you were what?
17. I was would have I been a half? Would have I been a centre? Would have I been a 13, a 9? Do you know what I'm... the only reason I was a winger is because that's the only position I could play. Or I couldn't play fullback because I didn't have the ball playing. And so I was what would have it been like? I always, as well, I still feel more comfortable with a soccer ball at my feet than a footy in my hands.
It's funny, and I assume most people listening to this will share like my opinion here. Like, as someone that could never have really made anything ever, and then you just walked into rugby league after 2 years, it's actually sickening. It's like, oh, god damn.
Oh,
it is true, but like, you know, most of these NRL players have been playing since they were 5 years old.
Yeah, and it's also the one thing I like to throw back and forth though is just like what position would have I played? Like obviously I'm not big enough to be a front rower or whatever, but like, you know, the whole reason being on the wing, it's the least skill sensitive position that you can get. So like, yeah, just super interesting. So I think about my little boy, and if he does play league, like, will he be a half, a nine, a, you know, center? I remember, I never forget when I came back to league and they asked me, so this was 2013. So this is like, I don't know, like debut 2007 all the way to 2013. This is like basically the last year of league that I played. And I remember, never forget, in reserve grade, they're like, oh, we'll just put you in center. And I was shitting myself because I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I've never played this position. Like, I am still learning wing. And you're asking me to play center. Like, it was, honestly, it felt like a debut again. It was in reserve grade. It felt like a debut again because I was trying to express to them because, like, this isn't one of those situations where, you know, when I say I haven't played centre, I mean, or in the top tier of footy, I haven't played centre. It's like most of the players that have played wing growing up for a period have played centre or fullback or six or anywhere else in the back line, most people have played. I'm like, guys, you don't understand. Literally never even trained there.
Were you shitting yourself because of like, you know, the decisions you'd have to make in defence?
Yeah, decisions I'd have to make. You know, it's a different part in the field. There's, you know, wing, you really got a very different angle of kind of the way you're doing things. Like, you know, even it felt weird to me, the fact that I wasn't returning for kick returns. Like, I didn't have to go all the way back there and, you know, just all that kind of weird stuff. Anyway,
do you remember how you played?
I played actually really well. I played really well. I got like man of the match or something. But yeah, I was shitting myself the whole time. Anyway, I'll get off my I know people don't like hearing me speak about myself. Okay, guys, brought to you by a Grumpy Coffee. Go to grumpycoffee.com.au. Grab your Grumpy Coffee today. Beautiful, beautiful coffee. Yeah, you will not be disappointed, guys. www.grumpycoffee.com.au. Pods, whole bean, ground, got it all. Give it a try. You will not be disappointed. I'm trying to think. Anything else?
Yeah, I've got one thing.
Yeah?
Like, I've listened to literally every podcast in the last 2 days.
I've listened to so much over the last couple of days, yeah.
So I can't remember who said it, apologies, but they were like, how many times does Queensland have their backs against the wall win? Like, it's just, that's part of Origin. And then they were like, try and think of the Blues series that the Blues won where they were backs against the wall, they were heavy underdogs and they won. And I literally can't think of one. And that pisses me off because, like, well, it pisses me off, but it makes me sad because that, like what I kind of said before, like Queensland just always have this purpose, and like, where's our purpose to win?
Yeah,
it just, I'm so flat and numb right now. It's just crazy.
Like, because when you go in across that Queensland side, Munster, Grant are literally the only two players that would make that New South Wales side. Oh, and Tino.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Carrigan.
Oh, sorry, Carrigan. Yeah, Carrigan will be on the bench for sure.
On the bench. You know, if we said that 6 weeks ago that he'd be on the Blues bench, you'd be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Because he played Origin. Sorry, I take that back. Obviously, 2014, our backs were against the wall. And I think that's, obviously, it was the 8 in a row, but like, you know, that's why 2014 is so special to everyone.
Yeah.
Because it was the one time
You did it. You did it. I mean, we were missing Cooper Cronk. So. No, I'm joking. I will say, Cam Munster. You know, what I loved about his performance, and Matty Johns brought this up, and it's so true, it's what I loved about it. He could have gone out there and made it about himself, tried everything. Give me the ball. I'm going to run at every tackle. It's going to be the fairy tale all about me. He did the exact opposite. He took a step back, allowed Dearden to be great, and just did his job.
He kicked well and he tackled well.
Yep.
That's all he did.
That's all he did when Dearden became a hero.
I love Munster. And like, I'm not going to speak for every Blues fan, but he's a Queenslander that plays in the halves for Melbourne. Like, he should be hated.
Hated.
And why isn't he?
And also, like, it's not like he's a clean skin. Like, on the field, he gets niggly, he does it all. But
I think sin bin twice in the grand final for being a grub.
But I you know what? I think most people can relate with Munster in regards to they've all got a mate that's high energy, talks nonsense, like just yapping all the time, but always happy, always bubbly. And I think a lot of us, he's an Aussie larrikin.
That's why.
And I think
he's
a lot
so
of us,
relatable.
yeah, he's relatable. You get it. Like we all say dumb stuff. Like he might say something silly or whatever. And I think that's probably what is so relatable about Cam Munster. But just back to Dearden, like where do you rate that performance? Like I went back and watched. It said all of Dearden's big moments, mate. He could have got away with just one of those moments and have been great.
Yeah.
For a game 3 decider to score 2 tries and that not even be the 2 biggest moments of your game.
No, like not even close really.
Not even close. And yet like that second try was purely individual brilliance. Like that was just show and go, cut straight through.
Yeah, and that individual brilliance. And the first try was just effort, which is what he builds his game on.
Like how he somehow got in between that gap between those 2 players when, you know, that is just grit and determination.
Because he's a 6, and I know he played 7, but because he's a 6, like no one really speaks about him like one of the top tier halves in the game, but he absolutely is. And I think that's going to change now.
Yeah, for sure.
He absolutely is.
Yeah, I definitely. Like, and I was one of those people that I was like, oh, give him time to be a 7. He doesn't need to move in there now. I think he's an out and out 6, but wrong. He's ready. He's a 6. He's an absolutely he's a 6. Here's another bloke that just killed it. Cotter. I just can't get over how good Cotter played. I just can't get over it, bro.
It's so Queensland that, you know, Cotter's won a Wally Lewis medal. Now Dearden's won a Wally Lewis medal. Paddy Carrigan won one in his first year, and they were all under the age of 25.
Mental.
They're just hard-working freaks.
Yeah. Kurt Capewell.
I was stoked when he got recalled. Mate. Stoked as a Blues fan. I'm like, sweet. And I've made that mistake before, obviously, 2020. Yeah.
I love that he got recalled because I just know he's never going to die wondering. He's going to try.
Yeah. Someone
put a great stat. It might have been Random Stats guy. I'm not sure. But someone put a great stat up. Anytime a team had a warrior in it, they didn't lose or something like that. So Barnett game 1 and then Kurt Capewell game 2 and 3. So really it's the Warriors that have won the series.
The Wars have won Origin. The only non-Australian team.
Mate, somehow, some way the Wars won Origin. So we go back, Barnett game 1 and then Kurt Capewell, huge in game 2, huge in game 3. Kurt Capewell was essentially man of the match game 2. So look, I'm just going to put it out there. Did the Warriors win their first ever Origin? I think, look, I'll leave it to the Warriors fans to let me know. I'm sure you'll be very measured and tame about it all.
Oh, yeah.
But the Wars win their first Origin and it's proof that the Wars can get anything done.
Well, congratulations, Warriors, on your first Origin win.
Your first Origin win.
3-0 whitewash.
Such a good start.
I love that.
Yeah, 3-0 whitewash to the Wars.
To the Wars, yep.
First whitewash since what, 2015?
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yep. Mitch Barnett was a huge loss that no one seems to talk about.
Mate, massive loss. Just that leg speed. I keep talking about it. I know it's probably annoying. Just that leg speed around the ruck and around the middle, clean up work. That's just where I felt like, and that's what I was saying. And so I'm not being hindsight hero here. That's what I was saying after the game 2 for you guys. I just felt like you had too many big boppers on the bench as well. Like Stefano, big bopper. Spencer, big bopper. Obviously not as tall, but thick as anything. Yeah. And Stefano is really, he's really quick and he's pretty decent laterally, but he's not necessarily known for his defense. He's known for his attack. Spencer Lanu, he is always brought on for his attack. He can defend really well. So, but you're not bringing him on to be good in defense. And so that's what I was talking about when I was talking about the Blues. I'm like, I look at this makeup. I just think Stefano is, you don't need a guy like him on the bench. Could you bring another better lateral guy on the bench? Even though Stefano did come on and play relatively
really
well. And so, look, I mean, huge next series, geez.
Yeah, where do, like, again, there's a year to go, but, like, where did, like, people are saying, oh, they should have picked Kolomatangi and Terrell May. But, like, I think Kolomatangi was a big miss. Terrell May, he should have been there from kick 1, in my opinion. And now, I think that decision looks outrageous now. Like, I know it got vindicated after, you know.
Max went well.
He went well in game 1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you've got vindicated after game 1.
You're right, yeah. But then, you know.
That's fair.
Was Max King used properly in the last 2 games?
Yeah, I never was on board with the starting. I just didn't think he suited the start. I thought he did a good job off the bench. Let him do that in game 2, game 3. But anyway, I guess it is what it is, really. Yeah, just unfortunate for Blues. Awesome for Queensland.
great for Queensland.
You know what's crazy as well? Like, I'm watching Queensland, I'm watching these boys after the game, and I'm like, how do you get up for it and go again next year? Like, I feel like you guys, this was the end. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, watching the Queenslanders put what they put into that series in that game 3, I feel like it was almost that. Like, it felt like the last hurrah. Like, that was everything they ever had. It went into that game 3.
I think you can ask that question about both teams, and you've been able to ask that question in the past. Like, Queensland won when they won their 5th in a row. I'll never forget watching the footy show and Darryl Broman saying, because 5 in a row then was the biggest, and he was like, I reckon Queensland can win 10 in a row, and just thinking, how do they get up every year? And the same thing for Blues. We get battered every year.
Yeah.
We lose. We've had a better team for the last 8 years, and somehow it's 4 from 8 or whatever it is. How do we get up for next year? That's just what Origin bloody is, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Queensland being underdogs and winning, and us being better and freaking losing. I don't know.
It's just crazy. I mean, that's what makes Origin. What I will say is like, it's the best sporting.
It's amazing.
It's the best sporting event in the country by a bazillion miles.
Yeah.
Like, look, obviously as a Blues fan, it's not enjoyable, but look at the story that this tossed up. Like, you couldn't, let's reverse it. Just imagine a world where the Blues did that. You're massive underdogs, all this stuff happens, all these changes happen, and you somehow win up at Suncorp. I mean, you felt a little bit up last year. Like, you would be sitting here saying, this is the greatest ever. And I think, like, that's what with this Queensland win, it's the most proud I might have ever been. Like, with the 2021, for some, don't get me wrong, it was like on paper worst team. I get all that, blah blah blah. But for some reason, like, I was like, I don't know, I believe in Wayne. He'll work some magic.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I really was getting to the point where, like, outside a game of their lives, I don't know how they do it, because this Blues side, when they turn it on, they score points for fun against us. But they did it. They played the game of their lives.
I think it's one of the greatest Origin wins ever. I know the 2011 Queensland team would beat this Queensland team, but I don't know how. I don't know if they've put in a 10 like that. They might have. Like, they won 52-6 in a decider in 2015.
It's the highest completion rate, I think, ever from a Queensland side.
There you go. It was a 10. That first half was a 10. It was so perfect.
Like, 69 minutes perfect. Crazy. No errors. And it's not like they didn't try some things. Like, to think that all players, not a single one, and the only error they had was an errant flick pass, like, that they were trying to attack, and the game was pretty much done. Yeah. Pretty much done at that stage.
Yeah. I think, so the streaming records and that got smashed. I think Origin's in such a good place. When I don't know what it is, but something about, like, Origin was at its peak, I reckon, during the 8 in a row, because there was just something about how Queensland are better. Well, Queensland win, or Queensland were better back then, but the Blues always pick themselves up. That's how Origin is, and it sucks, and it's just how it is.
Well, Gus Gould always says Origin is made for Queensland.
It is. It just is. And the last 2 years, it's at its peak, because both years, the home team loses game 1 and then goes and wins 2 away games to win the series. Yeah. Origin is just, it's the best.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, anyway, what an incredible series. Incredible series.
Incredible series, but it was a good series.
I know what I was going to say.
Go on.
Only difference is Ash Klein can't coach Origin again. Like, from both perspectives. Look, the game 2 situation, it happens, man. Happened last year to us, Queensland. Happened to this in New South Wales. But so I'm willing to go, listen, okay, if that's the way you do things, where in game 2 you just give 50-50s to the losing side, then all right, sweet. If that's like just the way of the world. But game 3, his performance was shocking, like shocking. And you guys know I always try to defend the rest. But look, Clubland's a different beast, because it's Clubland. You know, they're reffing every week. You know, even the rugby league that they play, like the standard of footy that they play, the players, isn't that great sometimes. So I can go, okay, sometimes the refs are going to get it wrong in Clubland. Mate, if you're reffing the crown in Australian sport, you know, the jewel in their crown, mate, you got to be better than he was on game 3, in my opinion.
Seriously, he can't ref again, because I think it was a tale of 3 different things. Like, game 1, he reffed it like a club game. Game 2, it was biased. And game 3, it was horrendous.
Like, so much got pinging the wrong things. Like, just and then I I got to say, that last 10 minutes just left a sour taste in my mouth not because I worried about losing or whatever, but it just shows you where his head's at. Like, oh, yeah, like the Blues need to get... Okay, I'll just let this... Like, come on, man. Come on. It's a bit gross.
We shouldn't be talking about the ref. It's just... Did you see what Josh Kerr said?
Yeah, I wish he did. And I was like... Because I didn't want it to distract from the great win from Queensland. Yeah. Lucky it hasn't caught flames, you know, and they've made a big deal about it. But I do think that it's going into next Origin. It's definitely something they need to look at. Like, we knew this was going to... Like, from the first set... Think about this. The first set of the entire Origin, he gave a penalty away. Guess what? Hands on face.
I know.
What? Like, what?
Yeah. Whereas, like, I was saying to you guys, I was watching the 2005 decider. The shit they got away with. Mate.
Like, if you're giving penalty aways for hands on face, you're not reffing it like an Origin game. Exactly. You're reffing it like a club game. Yeah. And what's frustrating is, as a game, as fans, we've all sat back and accepted, okay, club games get reffed differently. There's more penalties. I get all that. And so we've gone, okay, we'll give you that NRL as long as when it gets to the big games, you let it flow. They've taken even that away from us. Anyway.
Adam G must be some sort of rogue because he reffed the best grand final of all time and he reffed it. It was the best ref grand final I've seen in a while and somehow doesn't even ref the last year's grand final. He mustn't be popular within the referees, right?
I don't get it. All right, go to codesports.com.au/bloke and enter redemption code bloke. You'll get access to a special discounted on the subscription for just $49 for the entire year. And don't forget, Menulog's code this week is weeks for free delivery. Weeks for free delivery. Said this before, but I'll say it again. I think Billy Slater should ride off into the sunset. I think that... you know, I really, really do think that just extra stress. He's in exactly the same spot as Freddie Fittler 2021.
Yep, exact same.
And, like, I don't know whether he'll go, like, maybe he wins next year, maybe he doesn't, I don't know. But it's like, you know, go out on top, mate. You've earned it.
I agree. I agree because, A, I don't want him there anymore. He beats us too often. But, B, like, how many Origin coaches have a better win rate than 50%?
Pretty
He's
much
75.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to series, I'm not sure about games, but yeah, just right off. Look, Hammy said it as a joke. I reckon he should coach Australia.
It'd be an easier job, way less pressure, but you still get to be involved in coaching.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it, honestly. I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. But
I think you're right. I think what's the point of him coaching Origin next year unless, you know, he goes on a Mal Meninga run.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
But also, like, is it worth it? Like, you know, you got the great media job. You got so much going on. I think he rides off. Okay, reports are the Des has up. But before we get into it, guys, to get the best discount off your NordVPN, go to nordvpn.com/blokeinabar. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description. You're going to use it. Make sure to use it, guys. Click on the link. It really does help us. We're trying to get NordVPN as a long-term partner, so the more you can just click on. If you're going to use it, use it. It really does. That's the way how we get longer-term deals that we'd really appreciate. Okay, Desi Hasler set to retire in the year. Hannay is front runner. Hannay has multiple clubs after him, reportedly. Foran also retired. Massive congratulations to Kieran Foran. What an incredible career. So many ups and downs. So storied. One of the toughest halves to ever play the game and one of the best blokes in rugby league as well. I
would almost call it a miracle that he reached 300 games. The amount of injuries that bloke went through, the amount of surgeries. Like, I remember when he was playing for the Warriors, I can't remember what year it was, but he was only there for 1 year, but he was so injured and he finally was coming back against the Dragons and then he just gets injured in the warm-up and everyone's just like, oh my God, this bloke is held together by pieces of tape. And then he's just gone through that. He got through that not little, it was long, it was years, that period. He went through so many clubs and then just suddenly became not extra durable, but he reached 300 games, which most people don't do. Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's just such a good guy too. And I think so many young players can just learn from his journey. You know, sometimes it's hard to learn from the best of the best that didn't have many injuries. They got through all these games, but a guy that really has gone through the ringer to get where he's at, incredible. Desi Hasler set to retire. So essentially the reports are that, you know, retire, but if they lose this week, they can actually sack him immediately. But I don't think that's going to happen because if he doesn't make the 8, they can sack him and he's mathematically impossible to make the 8. And so, look, there were a little bit of reports that there's like a player revolt or whatever. I hope that's not true because, like, unfortunately, this playing group hasn't really earned the right to be talking like that. So I'm just going to assume it's not true. With Desi Hasler, a mixture of both things. Like, yep, the players have got to be held accountable. Yep, the administration need to be held accountable at the Titans. At the same time, I do think Desi Hasler's probably lost his magic a little bit as a coach, and I think that it sucks that he's retiring like this when he's, there was a period there he was considered one of the great coaches. Really was.
He will go down as one of the great coaches.
And yet this is how it ends, which sucks, but I do think it's the right call. I can't, they've just gone so far backwards since he's taken over.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. Like, Desi Hasler, obviously a Manly legend as a player. I think he started in the early 80s. Took over when they were at just shit, basically. They got the Northern Eagles merger just folded, and he basically rebuilt them into one of the great teams of the modern era. The Manly team from 2008, 2011, one of the great teams. Leaves in weird circumstances after the 2011 grand final, and then takes the Bulldogs to 2 grand finals in 3 years. Like, he's one of the great coaches. I know it's kind of gone pear-shaped since then. Like, he didn't end well at the Dogs, and Manly was quite good, but I think we can credit Turbo for that one. So yeah, it's ended badly, but he was a phenomenal player. He was, I don't know if he was an even better coach. I didn't see him play, but he's a fantastic coach. One of the great careers. But yeah, it's probably past him a bit now. And
I think with the Gold Coast, they just need a complete rehaul. Even Matty's talked about this, and I think it's also been reported there's a consideration about a complete overhaul, even from a jersey perspective. And I actually like it.
I love that idea.
I love it.
I think the first person I heard say that was you. I can't remember if it was on or off air. Like, change their colours even. And I was like, that's such a good point. Like, just
complete overhaul, everything new. Because the problem is they've had some incredible players playing that jersey, but unfortunately, it's a history of essentially not making finals as a club.
Yeah, and you'd know better than most, it's a Gold Coast thing. Like, sporting teams go up there to die, basically. Now, the AFL team are killing it at the moment, so there's the exception. But I can't remember if there was an A-League team there. There's been 3 rugby league teams. Like, even the AFL team, they're killing it, but it's taken a long, long, long time.
Taken ages and a lot of support from the AFL. And so I just think the complete refresh from the ground up. And so I think the Frizzels are now more ownership. They've got enough ownership to make all the calls, which is great. I really appreciate the Frizzels putting in this much effort and for time and money into this club because, without them, I don't know where this club would be. Okay, Ciraldo on Galvin. So he has been quoted. He's a 19-year-old kid who changed clubs mid-year and had come here looking to improve his football. Our job internally is to help him through that process, guide him and protect him. He's doing a great job turning up and getting better each day. I don't know why there's so much attention on him. Some of the commentary has been ridiculous. I agree with nearly everything, except I'm a little bit surprised. Ciraldo is sitting there going, I don't know why there's so much attention. He's way too smart for that, Ciraldo.
I'm with you exactly. Like, I think he's right. I think it has been over the top.
And some of the chat around has been like so ridiculous, it's actually crazy.
But like, I don't believe for a second that he believes that. There's no way.
There's no way. He's one of the smartest coaches in the comp.
Yeah.
To say, like, I don't know why there's so much attention. Mate, like, bro, I get shit for how much I love Ciraldo. So this is coming from a Ciraldo absolute glazer. I love Ciraldo. I think he's going to next one of the great coaches. But, mate, the reason is you're on top of the table. And you've brought him in. If you're not replacing Sexton this year, he's definitely replacing Sexton next year. And also, he's one of the best young talents in the competition. And on top of all that, he told his old club, essentially, that they're not good enough for his development.
Yeah. And I know that the Broncos game, they had like heaps of players out and they moved Burton to centre because they needed to. But like, that does add to the talk. Like, it was his first game starting, his second game starting, and they lost.
Yeah.
Like, there's reasons why people are talking about it.
But like, people are like, Galvin's the reason they're losing. I don't agree with that at all. They lost to top 8 sides before he arrived.
Yeah.
So look, the Galvin situation, at the end of the day, like, what I will say is this kind of like this idea that it's ruined the club, and I think there is a little bit of a dramatic angle there, because I will be honest, although I had him as premiership threats this year, did I have them as like my favourite to win the comp? Did I also still have questions around taking that next step? I did. And that's where I think Galvin does come in, is that like, you know, I don't think Ciraldo is trying to win a comp just this year. I think he's trying to win multiple comps, you know, over multiple years. And that's what this is, you know, my expectation with how all the deal went would probably be, or my assumption, would probably be maybe if they didn't take him mid-year, he would have gone somewhere else. I don't know.
I think that's highly likely.
Yeah, and so I just look at it like, you know, this is a long-term plan. It's, you know, probably Mitch Wood coming in a few years' time, him with Mitch Wood, with, I don't know what happens with Burton then, but I think that like the idea that they were almost favourites to win the comp this year and this has completely derailed their season, I'm not fully on board with that. Now, has it put extra pressure on them this year? I do think so. Has it has it affected them? To a degree, I guess. But at the same time, as I said, they'd lost before. They've won 2, lost 2 with him. So, yeah, I still need time to see how it's going to affect the season. I will say, this is what I will say, in defence of Doggies fans that are really frustrated from it, I do think they've got to rip the Band-Aid off. They cannot afford to have 2 small bodies on the bench with Bailey Hayward. If you do want to make a charge this year, you need a small body on the bench, Bailey Hayward or whoever it is, whether it's Bailey Hayward, Lockie Galvin, Reed Marnie, whoever it is, and then 3 big bodies or whatever. I don't think you're going to be able to go with the best sides with a bench that has Bailey Hayward, Lockie Galvin coming off it. You just don't have the impact that you need.
Yeah, there's 9 games left in the regular season. Doggies are going to play finals footy. You'd think they'd be in the top 4. If they don't, then they'll be...
That's a disaster.
Yeah.
Then you could... Look, if they go on and keep losing, mate,
Well, then, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Bulldogs fans that are frustrated, you're right. I want to be clear, like, I understand the frustration from the Bulldogs because you're sitting there going, we're on top of the table and this has been brought in. The fact that there's even a chance it could derail our season, why did we do it? I guess that is a question. I just say it's a long-term play. I think Ciraldo's looking towards the next 10 years, not the next 6 months. I do think the idea that like, I can't believe everyone's talking about it. It's like, come on, bro. Like, put it this way. If he was just a young gun, let's say he was a young gun and he was already at the club, would he be sitting on the bench right now? He'd be in reserve grade playing 6.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'd be saying to him, mate, you know, when we've got Sexton or Burton injured, you'll come in, but next year's when we're going to start using you. I don't think he'd be sitting on the bench. He's on the bench because it is a unique situation, and he is... No way he's going to come there and play reserve grade. Like, I guarantee you, when they had that in a contract negotiation, whether it was Galvin or his manager, they would have said, listen, we're not coming there to play reserve grade. So if you want us now, we want to be playing NRL. Yeah. I don't think... So, like, I'm a little bit surprised Ciraldo has said, like, oh, you know, why is this such a big deal? It's like, bro, come on. There's plenty of reasons why it's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's trying to take the heat off him, but the heat's not coming off him. Yep. He's not going to come off him until they win 2 or 3 games in a row.
Yeah. But
if Galvin goes to 7.
Exactly. Or... Like, the only thing I will say is that with Ciraldo that he's correct about is some people are way too dramatic about it. Like going, like genuinely, like blaming all the loss on him. First of all, it wasn't Galvin that signed the contract. If you want to blame anyone, blame the administration if that becomes an issue. If you guys lose all this game and you think Galvin's the problem, that's not a Galvin problem. That's an administration problem. But yeah, I reckon, I just hope they rip the Band-Aid off, whatever it is. I've got a sneaking suspicion, and Matty John said this morning as well, it might actually be Reed that makes way and Bailey Hayward goes to 9 and Galvin goes to 14. I don't mind that. I don't, like, as in, I wouldn't make that decision because I think Reed Marnie still has quite a lot to offer. Or Bailey Hayward begins to start at 9, and so that's how you get it all in. Now, does that make their forward pack a little bit small? Maybe. Sorry, start at 13, and you go Bailey Hayward 13, Burton at 6, Sexton at 7, Reed Marnie at 9, and Galvin at 14. I don't mind that. But what I just don't think works is 2 small bodies on the bench.
If it was me, I'd have Galvin starting. I know it's harsh, but Sexton's... I know Reed's on the way out, but like they've picked Galvin. Galvin's their guy. So I don't know when it's going to be, but I'd do it soon.
You know what I would say? If you rip the Band-Aid off and you put Galvin in there and they lose 3 or 4 games... What you do know is you can bring Sexton in, he's going to deliver a certain amount of quality.
Yep.
And so are they not doing that because they're worried about that? Because like that's a huge problem for the club. If Galvin goes in there and and Sexton gets dropped and they lose the next 4 games, then that's and so I wonder, like, are they intentionally treading water by not doing that because there's a chance that could happen? Maybe.
Jeez, that seems like a lot of thought going into. I don't know. It seems like they're overthinking it, doesn't it?
Well, why are they like? I feel like they're overthinking it with him on the bench.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think you're right. Ripping the Band-Aid off, putting him at halfback. I think they're better. Their best team is when Marnie's starting at 9. And I think their best team will be, because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Marnie at 9 for this year, Galvin at 7. And I think it's harsh on Sexton. We said it last week, I'm pretty sure. I can't believe he's not going to another NRL club. He's definitely a first grader, but I don't know. There's 9 games left and they want to win. I don't know.
Yeah. The good thing is if you do rip the Band-Aid off now, Galvin goes in there, doesn't play well, at least you know you can bring Sexton in and he's going to play to a certain standard.
Sexton has proven that no matter what happens, he's going to get in there and rip in.
Yeah, and he's good enough in that squad to get him in the top 4.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, tough situation. Don't forget, guys, KO, massive shout-out to KO. Night Storm this week. Dragons, Roosters, Cowboys, Bulldogs, they're all exclusive. NRLW kicked off as well. Got the Eels, Bulldogs, Broncos, Dragons, Cowboys, Roosters, and KO will be showing every game live and ad break free during play. FIFA World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup final this Monday, 5 a.m, Chelsea versus PSG. And the boxing event of the year is coming to main event on KO Sports. Aussie superstar Zoo looks to reclaim his WBC junior middleweight title. And also Manny Pacquiao will be fighting. That is exclusive to main event on KO Sports. And there's also no KO subscription needed to buy that fight as well. So make sure to buy it. Alrighty. I'll go check real quick and then we'll...
Yeah, I'm not going to say a single thing, but I finished Squid Games and my algorithm has never been more flooded in my life with anything in general. Like I don't know what happened. Did my phone realize that I'd finished the thing? The amount of memes and reels and theories and my algorithm at the moment is literally nothing but Squid Game. It's more than rugby league. It's more than cricket.
Really?
It is. I know. You haven't started, have you?
No.
When you finish it, it might be too late. But like the reels and memes that have come out about it is biblical. I can't believe it. It's like most of them.
Good, bad,
good.
Okay.
No spoilers, but I loved it.
Is there a good twist?
I mean, there's twists. It's
okay. All right. I'll let go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just alternate endings. Like, people have AI'd alternate endings.
Oh, really? Okay, let it go. Okay.
Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Just another weekly reminder to watch Andor. You need to watch the best.
Did you text your brother this week to watch it?
Yeah, I did actually. I did. I texted him, I think. Let me check. I texted him on Wednesday, Andor. Full stop. Hero back, lol. He's probably not going to watch it just to piss me off too. My algo right now, let me check real quick what the algo is looking like. I'll tell you what is weird as a new parent. Is like you feel disloyal to your first kid loving the new kid. It's such a strange experience. It's just so weird. I feel really disloyal to Rain because I got Hayes, and it just is such a weird. I always try to tell myself that Rain and Hayes are going to be like best mates. So that's what's so good about it. Is like, even though it makes me feel bad and guilty to Rain because we've been we're boys. Me and Rain, he's my boy. But I would just think, they'll be best mates. So he'll love him, as he grows up. But it's such a weird experience. So friggin' weird.
I wonder, because I don't really know any parents. Like my friendship group aren't parents or anything. So this topic doesn't come up. But I wonder how common that is.
Yeah, I'd love to know. Parents out there, is it common for you to feel disloyal to your first child when your second child comes? I feel disloyal. It feels weird. I will say the new... Clips album is out. Pusha T and Malice. Clips. Do you know what Clips are?
Nah.
Oh, fuck. Different generation, I guess. Pusha T, Malice, new Clips album's out. I'll be banging that all the way home. Cannot wait. But outside of that, we are done and adusted. Anything else, mate?
Justin Bieber announced a new album.
That's tonight as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That might be now. You know what? Let's just check the Beebs.
I'll be honest, I have no high hopes at all. But hopefully he proves me wrong.
It's called Swag. Just come out. It's 21 songs.
I mean, he hasn't put out a song in ages, so.
I hope it's good.
I hope it's good.
I think Justin Bieber's good. I think his music's good.
No. Justin Bieber, the album Purpose, is one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life.
And what was the other one with like Big Sean and Nicki Minaj and that?
I don't know what it's called.
Just wait, let me check. So yeah, Purpose was great. And there was actually another one as well. Changes wasn't bad. I didn't mind Changes. Oh, Believe was good. Believe was good.
Yeah.
But like the other stuff's a bit too childish. Oh, Justice was okay. You didn't mind, did you like Justice?
Look, I'm not the hugest Justin Bieber fan. I just, for some reason, Purpose I loved it. I really, really liked it.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we'll go listen to our Justin Bieber and Pusha T. You know what's funny is like how different those two artists are. Even more different.
Did you hear the new Eminem song?
With Jid?
JRD?
Yeah. Craziness.
Like JRD was all right, but Eminem was
Jid was good. Jid was good. He was good, but Eminem just went absolutely nuts. And also so nuts that like usually I can get the double entendres and like I had to like get like slow it down to get the double entendres and that.
Yeah, I was like reading. I couldn't just listen to it. I had to actually read it.
You had to read it because it's so hectic. Yeah. Like you're just like, what the hell is happening right now? I will say like I do wish like with M, like I'd love an album that's like has maybe one or two songs like that, but a story album again, like talking about things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a story about things that happened in his life kind of stuff rather than just crazy lyrics.
I really enjoyed I still listen to his latest album, the one that came out a year ago, The Death of Slim Shady.
Yeah.
I know it's not really a story. It's more of a fake story.
Yeah, it's like a fake story.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to hear like Mockingbird story stuff, you know?
Yeah, that'd be
You know, like it's Stan, where it's like a story, where he's rapping.
Yeah, you're speaking my language.
You know. Whereas like I think at the moment, like I totally respect he's the greatest rapper alive ever, greatest lyricist alive, all that stuff. But like I don't listen to his songs on repeat, his newest ones, because it's like it's not songs, it's just like crazy lyricism.
Yeah, true.
Like I'm not going to listen to that Jid song over and over because it's like it's decent, but it's more just about the lyrics that make it crazy.
You appreciate it, but it's not like I'm not going to throw it in my speakers. But like he's become a grandfather now, so like hearing songs about that'd be cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I don't get. Like I know it wouldn't sell as well. I get all that. It would sell really poorly, but I want some of these pop stars to sing about things that they're dealing with now as a father or whatever. And as I said, I know that, you know, pop culture is for the youth. It really is. So they'd be getting all this being told by all of their executives, if you make that, it doesn't sell, so don't do it. So I get it. But I just think, especially with Eminem, it doesn't need any more money. Like rap about, you know, trials and tribulations with your daughter and, you know, what it was like being a grandfather and going to her wedding. And I would love to hear about that shit.
Yeah. Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like seeing because, you know, it's not just Haley. There's like, obviously there's more daughters, like hearing about all them. Like,
hearing about the pressure of, you know, even hearing about like the fact that he put all of his family in the early songs that are classics, the pressure of that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, was it the right thing? Like, for example, I never forget in like Marshall Mathers 2, I think, he talked about regretting putting his mother in the Headlights song.
Headlights, yeah.
And that was so cool. And so I just, like Marshall Mathers 2, it has stories on there like about getting bullied and like I said. So I would love another album like that where he's telling us stories, because he's probably got like 20 years of stories he hasn't discussed yet.
Of course.
Because he hasn't really released an album that's been an album about his life. He's released albums that have just been lyrical, just juggernauts.
You're right. Like since, like obviously.
Marshall Mathers 2.
Yeah, Marshall Mathers 2, and then the one before that, like obviously Recovery.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like since then, not really. Like Music to Be Murdered By was just hectic.
Kamikaze, just crazy lyrics.
Just shitting on people. Like, I can't even remember what it's called. The one that was terrible. Like that was terrible shit. Revival, yeah.
See that he tried to do like kind of like political stuff there, but I don't mind political songs to a degree as long as they're not preachy, but it just sounded bad. It was almost like rock rap. There was only like one or two good songs on that.
Yeah, it wasn't, and it didn't feel like an album. It felt like felt like 20 random songs that were just put together on a CD.
I didn't like the direction of sound that he went on. It was very like rock rappy, and like almost like Run DMC. Like he had some, but like the reason why Kamikaze was so good is because it's modern sounding hip hop.
Yeah,
the beats are like Eminem. He's not a mumble rapper, but the beats at least sounded modern. On Revival, the beats sounded like so aged, like so aged and bad.
Yeah, if you go through them out, like they're only a year apart because Kamikaze was a response to how the reception, yeah, and they sound too different. Like,
and that's what's crazy is like there's some good songs on Revival, like Bad Father or whatever, or Bad Guy.
Bad Husband.
Stand 2. Was it Stand 2?
No, that's Mushroom Matters LB2, Bad Guy.
There's one about being a bad father.
Yeah, so the last 2 songs of the album were Arose and Castle.
Yeah, incredible.
Those 2 songs, like because the album was so terrible,
just get lost in the noise.
They get lost. Yeah.
But then there's also Bad Father when he talks about how can I be such a good, bad husband. Bad husband. How can I be such a bad husband, but it's such a good father?
Yeah.
Great song. But in all of them, even the last, like Castle and Rose, like I don't like the sound of the songs. Like I wanted modern, I want him on either old school hip hop, like boom bap, or modern hip hop. I don't want him on like guitar Run DMC kind of beats. I don't want that.
I forget the name of the song because I don't listen to that album, but there's a couple of very rocky songs.
Yeah, like even Berserk when it came out, I hate that song.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate that song.
Yeah.
Me and Courtney argue about this all the time. I have never liked that song.
Never.
I hate it.
Because it's rock.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, I like rock. Like as in, I can listen to good rock songs like, because it's actual rock, but like rapping over rock, like Run DMC kind of stuff, I don't really.
I'm so glad we're aligned on that because I've never understood why that song's so popular.
It's grating to my ears.
Yeah.
It's grating.
Interesting.
Anyway. Alrighty. Grab some grumpy coffee. We're drawing the Mazda BT50 on Monday. We'll go and fuck ourselves.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.